So we saw Longlegs, and I walked out of the movie theater. Was it because I was scared, or was it because I thought the movie was terrible? I'll let you know, but first, Peyton, did you like Longlegs? And if so, where do you rank it amongst horror films and crime films?
Not so fast. Not so fast. I got to get my shit off first. I have a major problem with
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Alert, but I don't think you want to see it. And here's why. I have a huge problem with this movie, and his name is Nicolas Cage. Okay?
You have a huge problem with this movie.
I have a huge problem with this movie.
I didn't expect that.
Solely, his name is Nicolas Cage. I think if you cast a psychotic serial killer that is meant to strike fear into the audience just by seeing him, you don't cast the guy that stole the Declaration of Independence in a cheesy 2004 Disney movie.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Also, I think they had a real opportunity to go practical with it and not make it another shock value Hollywood devil film. They know that that's going to sell tickets, so they went that route. But I'm here begging Hollywood to give us another serial killer versus FBI agent. We haven't got one since Prisoners, and I'm itching for it.
And I liked Prisoners.
Prisoners was a great film.
Yeah.
Prisoners is probably in that category. I think it's top. As far as thriller crime movies, it's top. I think Longlegs could have been that. They had all the ammunition there. They had a cool FBI kind of relationship between the chief and the girl. They had a psycho serial killer. And then I know you think differently about this.
Yep, I have a lot of different opinions.
But I think it wasn't even known that it was like a supernatural devil film until pretty deep into the movie. And it felt like a curveball when they first introduced the first kind of voodoo magic shit.
So the marketing in the trailer didn't give away any of that stuff?
Exactly.
I didn't see a trailer.
There's a point to that, though. There's a point.
Okay. But, I mean, that's pretty much... So that and that alone is going to put my rankings pretty low. Here's where I'm going to give this film points. The ending made me glad to stick around, unlike some people. I'm glad I stuck around to figure out why things happened the way they happened and the relationship between the main character and the mom and the police chief and all of that. I liked how it wrapped up. So there's some points to it. But unfortunately, it's going to be the only points I'm giving it. 4 out of 10.
That is horrible. No, that's bullshit.
All right, Nick. Did you like the movie?
I loved the movie.
You loved it?
No, I deadass loved the movie.
All right, tell us why.
Okay, so for one, did we all go into this like
cold,
blind? No trailer or nothing. Okay,
I knew nothing.
Okay, same. Okay, then I guess we all have fair opinions. Mm-hmm. But kind of what you were saying with how you thought like it was going to be a crime movie and then it just turned horror like all of a sudden, right? Like halfway down the movie, right? Did you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I did some like thought, or I saw some videos after that, and the director did it on purpose. He said, I wanted you guys to take that route where you thought, oh, it's just like another classic like serial killer movie where there's FBI and like there's a psychic girl and she has stuff. But he did it on purpose. That was like, I mean, I don't really know why he did that on purpose. He said he did the movie based on like his childhood and stuff like that with like his parents. Crazy story. So his dad, the director's dad, is the director from The Shining. And then the mom is like a famous actress too, or like model or something like that. And
really?
Yes. And I guess his dad died from something like horrible. And then his mom died in 9/11, which is crazy. So that kind of like inspired him to do this film.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage also. I think Nicolas Cage did amazing. I think
Dog
he played...
ass.
No. There were so many...
ass.
I felt the same way as like a lot of the viewers that I was like reading online about. They thought Nicolas Cage played a great serial killer. It's the first time Nicolas Cage has ever played a role like that, and it's his last, apparently.
It's his last film
It's his last. He's doing, like, portraying a serial killer.
It's
like
his last serial killer film.
Yes.
It's not necessarily his last film.
Yes, because he said he doesn't want to portray that, and he's like, he doesn't want to... He doesn't like bad vibes as Nicolas Cage.
Honestly, Nick, that's good for the people. He should never touch a role like that.
I thought he did amazing.
Dude, he sucked.
Like
I wasn't feeling it.
Okay, so
I didn't believe it.
The scene where he's getting interrogated by the FBI girl, I thought he played that magnificently.
No.
Really?
Yes.
That just goes to show how subjective someone like perceiving someone's acting performance can be, because I was not in it at all. I was like unimmersed, and I'm like, this like his
I
makeup
was
looks
laughing
bad.
at
Like
him.
it was, yeah. I was laughing
genuinely
too.
laughing at him, bro.
Yeah.
Which I'm not knocking you. Like I'm glad you were able to enjoy it.
Me too.
Like my position is I wish I enjoyed it, but I'm like I can't unsee it, you know. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
continue.
Okay, so what else? What else did I have? There was a lot of like hidden stuff too. So I know we kind of like relatively spoke about this like already beforehand, but he made a lot of references to like other movies. So like in one of the scenes, I think it was a flashback. You see like a doll. It was like a.
It's not just a flashback. They did the Anabelle thing.
Yeah, the Anabelle thing. So right, the whole thing about Anabelle was like it's this possessed doll that like basically curses everyone in the house or curses like a family, and it eventually ends up killing the whole family. That was kind of the whole thing about that too, right? The doll's in the house.
Yeah.
And then that's basically
That's
devil.
the devil's way in.
Exactly. So I thought that was really cool. And then, like I said, when you see the actual devil, it's like portraying the nun, or at least I thought it was with the yellow eyes. I was okay. That's the nun from like
that's a great inference to make. But let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is that original?
It's not. I think he was giving kudos to other films that he might have liked.
I'm all
Which a
about
lot
I
of
haven't
directors
seen that.
do. A lot of
Yeah.
directors do. Like Star Wars films are full of like
Dune,
references
actually.
and things like
Dune,
that.
Thank you. Yes.
Which is cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
No, I'm cool with that if it's a slight nod and it's a reference. But when the end of the movie, the viewer has to say, "Oh, they did the Anabelle thing." It's like, do your own thing. Don't do the Anabelle thing. The whole concept of the movie to me was, which you didn't see, but the whole concept of the movie to me was the doll was like figuring out that this crazy Longlegs guy makes dolls and shit. That was a cool kind of character arc for a serial killer to have. But when we found out that it was his way to put the devil in the houses, that is like verbatim Anabelle. Like it's not like a nod to a great horror movie in the past. It's like, I'm gonna take that idea and I'm gonna do it, and they didn't even do it better.
And so I've never
completely
seen.
disagree.
Annabelle is
I
way
disagree.
better.
I disagree.
Annabelle is
I disagree.
way better than the movie we
I
just
disagree
saw.
with Peyton.
You think Annabelle is better than Longlegs? Or sorry, Longlegs is better than Annabelle?
Yes.
That's wild.
You know, they're calling this movie.
Annabelle is
They're calling
classic.
this movie the greatest.
The number one movie in America? Every movie is the number one movie in America.
No, they're calling it the greatest horror film of the decade. That was not
Of the
me. That's not
decade's
me.
crazy.
I told Peyton that. Someone. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I don't even think it's the best horror film.
Give me 3 films that you guys think are better than that in this decade that are better than Longlegs.
Hereditary?
Annabelle, Insidious, Hereditary, Midsummer. I could go on forever.
All right, don't name any of those, or well, name the
Name 5 more.
Name 5 more. No, but yeah, give me yours, Jake.
Dude,
Wanna hear
I
it.
mean, like one, I kept coming back to this. All right, what horror movies do I like? I want to make sure that I haven't just outgrown horror movies. Because my dad, for instance, cannot watch a horror movie. All he can see is how fake it is. Like he's not able to enjoy them. And I'm like, part of me is like, am I getting to that point? And am I just becoming my dad? And then I think about like, what did I like about horror movies before? And 28 Days Later is literally on the Only Wave website as my favorite movie.
That's
of
a
all
zombie
time.
movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, my sister loves that movie too. So
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
really good
it's
movie,
great.
yeah.
But I watched the movie when I was young. But that's the thing. Like I was so immersed into it that when they like broke into the house and like the zombies are coming in, bro, I was scared out of my fucking mind, dude.
Yeah.
And that's all I want. I just want to be scared in a movie
Yeah.
again. But I was not once during this movie scared.
So okay, that you make a good point. So I feel like when we watched scary movies when we were younger, part of it was like the innocence and like
Yes, sure.
part of how
Absolutely.
Which I know I'm not gonna break down the science to it, but like we were kids and that's what we remember, right? And I feel like now since we kind of know like horror movies are fake and yada yada yada, I think we kind of like dumb it down and like
Well, that's
I
interesting.
think we have way too many like expectations. Like for example,
Yes.
I definitely have.
Yeah, I
ways-
feel
that. I feel that.
Yes.
like I think we have too many expectations, and I feel like the bad thing about media now too, not even media, but like TV trailers, kind of how you guys were doing for Alien when we were there. You guys were like, don't want to see it because there's trailers
seeing it
now
Friday, yeah.
that reveal too much,
Right. Sure.
Right, and none of us did this, thank God, for this movie or gladly. But like, imagine if we watched a trailer, and be like, okay, it's a crime movie, and then people have the expectation of it being like a crime movie or like a suspense show, and then they're like, wait, why is it a horror film? You know,
Right, yeah.
So I can kind of see that. I see why you guys like went that route. 'Cause
Yeah.
It felt like that for sure. Like halfway through the movie.
All right, let me. Can I do my take?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we had to cut because I had to connect my Bluetooth keyboard, but we're back. So first thing, when it comes to Longlegs, I want to shout out the cinematographer Andreas Orochi.
Okay.
I'm going to read from my film because I wrote a lot. The cinematography of the film, 10 out of 10 camera work. I loved his choices. I loved the panning shots. For the first half of the movie, I was truly mesmerized by how it was shot. And I would rank this movie in my top 3 cinematography of all time.
Wow.
That's wild.
But this just goes to show that no matter how good your film looks, if the story isn't good, I'd rather watch out and I'd rather walk out and watch NFL preseason highlights on YouTube. So outside of world-class cinematography, my thesis of my why I walked out is I was just simply not entertained. That's why. The opening scene of the film, I immediately loved the one-by-one film look.
Yeah.
But this is the opening scene of a film, of a horror film. This is your chance to set the tone and to put the audience on the edge of their seat for the duration of the film. Think Hereditary, girl's head with maggots, and the mother scream in the morning. Think A Quiet Place when a boy gets snatched, right? It doesn't have to be gory, but it needs to set the tone. And yet they went with an empty jump scare attempt with Nicolas Cage cut to black. Remember his face was out of frame?
Yes, that's true.
And then he just goes, yeah. Cuts to black. So just like that, from the beginning of the movie, I'm underwhelmed and bored. And Peyton, I'm pretty sure I even saw you shrug. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I got
Next scene, Lee and her partner are looking for a suspect. Her spidey senses start tingling, and she points out the house. Her partner knocks on the door. Bang! And I'm like, shit, I'm back in it.
Yeah,
I was like,
that.
holy shit. Lee's against the wall, freaking the fuck out, trying to grab her pistol. Is a suspect going to walk out of the door before she gets it? Does she know Lee is even there, or is he waiting for just inside the door? What's Lee going to do? Director, hey, let's make this really intense moment in the beginning of the movie, and let's just skip her actually entering the dark doorway, and let's just cut to her already inside an empty living room where nothing happens.
Talk your shit.
My heart was pounding, and just like that, I'm underwhelmed. Like, do you visualize that?
Yeah.
Like, she's standing against the wall, and then all of a sudden it just cuts, and she's already inside.
And the bad guy's on the bed with his hands
Right,
there's a point-
exactly.
threat neutralized.
There's a point about that, but I'll...
I even wrote, I get that it ends up having implications to the story later and the whole birthday thing, but as a member of the audience sitting in a movie theater, respectfully, not on my phone, I was back to being bored. Mm-hmm. Final point. No relatability. No empathy for the main character. No emotional connection to anybody, actually. Everybody was boring. Her partner, the chief guy, everybody was boring. The way everybody talked, I could not get engaged. Mm-hmm. The phone call at the beginning where Lee calls her mom for the first time, she has a chuckle on there. She starts showing actual emotion. That was I was actually in that, you know?
You're relieved. You're
yes,
okay,
yeah.
finally.
And I'm I'm thinking about my mom. I'm all right, this is how movies are supposed to work, right? I'm supposed to start connecting with a character emotionally. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. After that phone call, the guy comes in, drops off the thing, right? The movie was stale from that moment on. And I get it. I understand her character. I get that she's stale, but at the same time, I'm not entertained. I'm just bored, you know? So just because I pay $15 to watch a movie does not mean I am obligated to finish it if I am bored. No amount of money should earn you that luxury. If I am over an hour into your movie and I'd rather leave the theater to go watch YouTube than to see how it ends, the fault lies on the storytelling, not me. Your storytelling should be so good that I'd rather sit there and jiggle my fucking leg for 2 hours because I'd rather piss my pants than risk not seeing how your story unfolds. You have my money now, sure, and maybe that's all you care about, but if you want my attention too, you have to earn it.
Oh.
That's a bar. That was just
$15,
one continuous bar.
$15.
You know? So, I mean, that's my take. And there's other scenes in the movie that I could, over criticize, but those are the main things. If you're going to do a horror movie, you got to start off.
Deliver.
You got to, yeah.
Nick,
okay, I
get
get
him.
that. Okay, rebuttal.
Yeah.
So you have good points, Jake, right? But the part with the hands up, I thought that was weird, right? Especially since I was just watching it you guys for the first time. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was weird. I was okay, why does she have this sixth sense where she knows exactly where the guy is, right? It has that has something to do with it being scary, right? Mm-hmm. And I found out later on that the theory people are saying is because she kind of had the devil already in her. So that guy was evil as fuck, right? Had evil thoughts, whatever. So when she walked in, the guy was okay, this is the devil. Whatever the devil tells me to do, I'm gonna
He's already
stop.
surrendering.
Yeah, exactly.
Got
He's
it.
surrendering to the devil.
Right.
Okay. Which I get it. When we first watched it, I'd be I should know this.
Right.
But It's
Yeah.
After Effects, so I get it. That's why, as a first time movie watch, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
What else? What else did you say? I agree with you. Cinematography was amazing.
Best, bro.
That
Best
it was amazing,
solid, bro.
dude.
The
And
one
at
by
the
one
end,
pissed
at the
me
end,
off.
at the end, you missed.
What?
The 1x1 pissed me off.
No, I like
like the one. I like the 1x1. I thought it
It's
was
like,
cool.
yeah.
I like it if it's a stylistic choice and there's a reason that you're using that. It's like the
It
black.
absolutely was.
It's like the black
flashbacks.
It's like the black and white conversation
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had
yeah.
back in the thing. If it's just a flashback,
It was kept
There's
to a
other ways
minimum.
you
It
can
was
do
kept
that.
to a minimum. In the opening scene, I'm like, God, I hope they don't do this for the whole movie. And then it expanded slowly. I was like,
That
okay,
was,
good.
That was
so
satisfying.
cool. Yeah,
That was
I was
satisfying.
gonna get really pissed off if that was like that for the whole
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that
the
was
fuck did you
satisfying.
just pay for?
It was good.
I'll give you that. But like, if it's just meant for a flashback, I think you can be a little bit more creative than just a 1x1.
Yeah, well,
Especially the
Andreas,
opening. Especially
you
the
got it,
opening
bro.
Yeah, he's
scene.
a goat. He's a goat. Shout out to
don't listen
Andreas.
to Peyton.
The opening.
The goat.
The fuck do I know? The opening scene of the movie where I gotta like squint and look at the fucking movie, it pissed me off a little bit. But later in the movie, when they used it again, that you didn't see, later in the movie when they used it again and I understood that now the 1x1 is a flashback, I was like, okay, now I understand why you did it. But it's still like I'm not bowing to cinematic excellence here.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I have a point though. So, do you? No, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, wait. Did you guys at any point in the movie thought the mom was like being sus? Like, did you guys see like, okay, there's something off about the mom? Like, there's something.
yeah, yeah,
going
Oh
on.
yeah.
Like the phone call, right? When she did the phone call?
Are you
Yes.
saying your prayers?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Isn't that crazy? There's some significance to that. So I was like looking into it, and the whole thing about that was, she was, I think, trying to hint at her, like, are you saying your prayers? Like, are you still like good? Because like the devil's on me already.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get him onto you.
Devil's
kind
on
of thing.
me. Devil's on me.
Devil's on me. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was crazy. And then at the end, you didn't see this, but at the end of the movie, when she goes to the FBI's daughter's birthday,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Mom, stop! Mom, don't do this! Mom, don't do this!" Because she knew the mom was in on it, right, at that time. And then she says, "Don't call me that."
Yeah.
That part was crazy. That means like that wasn't her mom anymore. It was like the fucking devil or a
devil.
demon, whatever was in her. That was crazy. I didn't even notice that during the movie.
Yeah.
But I thought that was insane.
Well, that
Like the little things.
That's what I gave points to. That's
little
the
things.
part I enjoyed is that like, oh shit, the mom's in on it. Like the mom is not just in on it, but she's actually it.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming. They were hinting at it, so
Yeah.
I actually left feeling kind of dumb. Like, damn, I can't believe I didn't see that coming.
Okay, and also, I know you said that you didn't feel like you were on the edge of your seat or whatever.
Right.
Like I said, I only saw this visually, but I was on the edge of my seat. I was like this. I was like clenched
Really?
up the whole movie. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And then, I'm not even kidding, I like turned to Peyton at multiple points, and Peyton's like
No way. You saw Peyton
Yes,
scrunched
yes.
up?
You're full of shit.
Hey, got his ass.
full of shit.
Got his
He was
ass.
scrunched up.
You're full of shit. You know how I know?
At multiple points.
You know how I know? Because I was zinned out just like this.
No. At one point, you had your arms crossed, and you were like a little scrunched up a little bit.
No way.
Yes, you definitely were. I promise. I was not the one zinned out.
Dude, I wish I could feel like that. It's been so long, man.
Yeah, man. They had me like tapping my feet. I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
All right, so on the count of 3, you guys give your 1 out of 10 rating. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
4.
8.5.
4 and an 8.5. We had the same rating.
4? That's
No
crazy.
way.
I-
Then I should like.
You should
it
be
should
at
be
a 2.
lower.
You should be
the
at like
4
a
was
2.
all for Andreas. Like
That's fair. That's
So,
fair.
so
Andreas
to
definitely
me,
gets
to me,
points.
that's not worth 4 points.
I mean, I didn't want to give him anything less than.
I gave 4 points for the storytelling. I enjoyed the ending, which
Yeah.
I think is important to the story.
Yeah.
If it's just cinematography, that's like a 0.5.
Well,
to be honest with you.
To be honest, like I wasn't hating on the movie. I just wasn't in it. It wasn't until Nicolas Cage at the like interrogation scene where I was like, "This is making me cringe."
You know what? The more I talk about this movie sucked.
Look at that
The
shit.
more I talk about it, this movie sucked, and it's so important. If there's one thing you take away from this clip, and I'm going to mention it again in a later clip, do not listen to film critics because they're going to rave about this movie until the sun comes
It's
down.
the greatest movie of all time.
That's crazy.
It's not.
That's
but
crazy.
Peyton's shitting on this way too
Do
much. I
not
don't like
listen to film critics because they are paid to be overly critical about things and take away from your experience about this film. I hate a film critic. Don't even listen to me. Watch the movie and film and make your own opinions about it.
Do we know the Rotten Tomatoes score? Did anyone look that up?
86% Rotten Tomatoes, 60% audience score.
Wow.
The proof is right there.
That's kind of low.
Proof is right there. Rotten Tomatoes
Wait,
is going to tell you
what
bad
was the
movies
critic
rock.
score? 91 or 86?
80 something, and then the audience score was 60.
I'm a critic then. I'm a critic to the end.
Yeah. Don't listen to this man.
No, that I thought it was a really good horror movie. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
And like I said, I had the idea like the whole time during the movie. I was like, I think they're doing this on purpose, like leaving it to make a make believe crime show turn into a horror. I thought that was great. I
hated that.
I love that
every
part.
fiber of my being.
I loved it.
I'm glad people can enjoy it. My opinion is never like I think everybody should hate it. I just know why I didn't like it, but I'm glad that people enjoyed it because they clearly put a lot of thought and work into it.
Yeah.
The reality is, if I could tell people to go watch every single movie ever, I would, because I know people like certain movies that I hate and love movies that I hate. So go watch movies and and make your own opinions. That's the moral of the story. Don't listen to a critic, or me for that matter.
Don't listen to
I think that's what I'm really excited about Waves. Is the users are going to pick the top 10,
exactly,
not the critics,
not the critics. You know,
for the people. They're
Classic.
calling this movie the
number one movie in America. Every movie is the number one movie in America.
No, they're calling it. Oh.